Okay. According to Caitlin Ruggles, 70 million people use sign language worldwide. And of that number, the percentage is 13% that are teenagers that are over the age of 12. This information can be found on the USA Hearing Center's website. Most of us do not consider sign language to be an important language for us to learn unless one of our own loved ones are audibly impaired. It is a common assumption to think that we need to communicate, we need to learn how to communicate through bilingualism, but isn't sign language important too? Isn't that considered bilingualism? Imagine if you were a child and you are in elementary, even if you are in high school, and you are not able to socialize with others because they don't understand you because you are audibly impaired and have to use sign language. Like I stated before, most of us do not consider that to learn that language unless one of our own are audibly impaired. So if schools require Spanish, English for English as a second language learner, and other languages as a requirement for graduation, why isn't ASL a requirement for graduation? Don't our audibly impaired peers matter too?
Sign language is something that we need to make more common, especially as a form of communication, due to the reason that there are many individuals out there that seem to not be able to communicate properly with others. This results in putting these people at a disadvantage because of the lack of communication and understanding. This problem could be solved by making sign language a concept in school. This is because as kids grow, they will keep on learning the language, and whenever they get the chance, it will help out someone in need. And according to the article of Letters to the President, students that were taught sign language in school actually had a better IQ than other students. And plus, if they never get the chance to use sign language, they would at least have the qualification on the resume, which can make them look more qualified than others.
There are many advantages that result from people learning sign language. This leads to the fact that offering sign language in public schools allows students and teachers to communicate with their peers that are hearing impaired to have an easier and effective way to communicate properly. Sign language isn't just beneficial when it comes to the real world, because then it can also help you open more doors when it comes to the job site. For example, when you apply to a certain job and they see that you know sign language, you might get hired. This is because if it is like you are bilingual. Companies nowadays want to get most sales, and because of that, you might get the opportunity to communicate with a deaf person. This can end up giving people a good impression about you. Sign language can improve people's lives, not only because it makes communication better, but because it can create friendships and more job opportunities that could change your life.
The disability of not being able to hear people correctly is a common problem in the United States. According to the NIH, there are around 1 million people that are deaf. It becomes a problem for people to not be able to hear because of lack of communication. This is because a lot of people don't really know how to speak or use sign language. This ends up putting deaf people in a disadvantage compared to normal hearing people. It makes them work twice as hard than normal people when it comes to having a simple conversation. This is why if more people started learning sign language, things could change. Deaf people won't feel as abandoned as they feel now, because if more people communicate with them, they will actually be able to express their feelings to more people.
There are many ways we're able to advocate for ASL and improve our community to support others, whether it's via education or communicating in general. We should include ASL courses in the education environment by having ASL qualified teachers be able to instruct students on beneficial ways to communicate with their peers. According to CBS, there are two major things we, the deaf community, hope to get out of it. The first one, we have a severe shortage of interpreters that are affecting the mainstream of education right now. And a lot of times, school board says, we can't provide your child with an interpreter because none can be found. It is up to us as a society to push these courses to the educational school board due to the importance of sign language. It doesn't have to be that way if we advocate and take the issue known. When communicating, we can improve relationship as well as students' learning environment with their surroundings. For example, their peers, their friends, teachers, ways they can communicate. By inserting these courses, we are anticipating how students are able to identify with others, not only that, but build better connections with their peers. It allows schools to evolve and create changes throughout our community and our next generation. By advocating for ASL, we are persuading better environment for young students and healthier relationships and opportunities for others.
At the end of the day, sign language can bring us many benefits, some of them being of communication and others being related to jobs. Sign language can make communication between people more simple and can make their lives easier because everybody around them would have a good understanding of what they were talking about. It also brings benefits to the workplace because it helps you in doing a good job and in making a good impression of yourself. To finish off, sign language can make many changes in our world because of its importance that it has on simple communication skills.
Hey Shania, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Oh, yeah, I understand you. Well, I'll see you around. Bye.